That's so scary. I'm so sorry.
Okay, this is being live streamed.
Yes, sorry. I am doing that.
Record. Okay, are we recording right now?
No, we're not recording right now.
Okay.
Nor are we currently live. Oh, we are live. Never mind. Okay. I guess it's time to stop talking.
We'll stop laughing.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm just practicing my presenter mode. Oh, and then is everything good with the polls?
Yeah, the polls are all there.
Okay, cool. I changed a few things, but nothing major.
Okay.
Just a little bit more about the history and the values of CLTs and just like little things.
Cool.
So
Very cool.
nothing, and we'll see who shows up in terms of the lenders. Jen will be here, April, and Leah will be here too. So
Okay, awesome. People are
hopefully
starting
not
to file into the waiting room.
81 people or however many.
No, I don't think we're gonna get that many people. There's only 2 people in the waiting room right now.
Okay. I'm so excited about this little presenter mode. I did not know that that was a thing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Pretty nifty.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the kitten to the vet soon.
Oh,
I'm having a lot of tummy trouble. But I think his tail is a lot better.
oh, that's good.
And he's getting neutered on Monday.
Yay!
Yay!
Neutering is so much easier than spaying. It's like
That's what
crazy.
I was hearing about. Is the recovery really quick?
Yeah, the recovery, I mean, for Turkey, it was like basically like 2 days and then he was fine. It was like magic. And then for Kiki, it was like an entire month. She was like, wasn't allowed to like do anything basically.
They're like,
And it
they're
was an
not allowed to
absolute
play.
nightmare.
Well, that's good to know. So it will be hopefully over before I know. We had a great boat trip today.
Oh yeah, I saw that video of the eagles.
Very cool. We met like 10 eagles. They all have names.
Oh. Did Captain Ron name them?
Captain Mike. I don't know.
Mike.
I think someone just started
Captain Ron.
calling him that, and then I was like, actually, I was reading the emails. I was like, that's not his name.
Oh no.
Put it out, and no one called him the wrong name. It was fine. So
That's good to know.
we are all good. It's gonna be okay.
I spent all day basically organizing GHC logistics.
Oh yeah, so we are without room potentially.
For now, I ran into Raven Bates from VCDC at a maker's market this weekend.
Oh,
She was
cool.
peddling her wares. And she said that VCDC regularly like snatches up like a block of 20 rooms as soon as it opens up.
Mhm.
But they might not be using all of them, so she could have extras for us. So I emailed her about that.
Yeah.
And
So
then Amanda at DHCD said they're working on getting rooms at the Residence Inn,
okay.
which is, I don't know where that is in relation to the other hotels.
2 hotels are completely full, then it's going to be a big event.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that the hotels are full, but the registration isn't full yet, which is interesting.
People are just like bringing their family on vacation.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure we'll find something.
The Residence Inn is also directly adjacent to the other 2 hotels, so nothing to worry about there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm cool with whatever.
Let me know when you think we should open up the waiting room. There's
Can you
only 3
see if
people.
like Leah or April is in the waiting room?
No, it's just
They won't
3. Yeah, 3 people in the waiting room.
Then we can wait until like 6, until
Yeah.
anyone we know. None of the lenders or realtors are in there. Well, it'd be great if there's only 3 people.
Be great. Yeah. Super easy.
Yeah. And we're planning on going a little more time conscious than some of our other ones have been.
I'm happy for that.
So I'll keep myself on track, but this train is ending at 7:30 at the latest.
Nice. Happy to hear that. Happy to get a little bit of my evening back.
Yeah.
I'm sure you are too.
Yes. I imagine. So it was like 80 people that registered, or 60?
I think it was 60 or something.
Okay.
I
So
didn't
probably
promote this one a ton. Since it's our first, and I knew it might
Thank you.
it might be hard. 77 registered for this one. But yeah, I only really mentioned it in the newsletter, and then like one social media post. And then that's really it. Like I didn't push it too hard.
That's good. We can push harder, at least like once the applications are open too. And I also need to figure out what to do about this Google form thing, because I don't know if we can talk about that later. But
oh shoot, yeah, we should talk about that.
It's in the presentation, I see it, or Google form, but I don't know if that's even live right now. But technically our applications aren't live. So I think it's fine.
Yeah. So we can figure that out before.
Maybe we'll talk about that. Because I'm kind of anti-Google form, but
I'm also anti-Google form.
Nikki pushed it a lot, but now we can find a better solution, I think.
I think that April's here.
Yay, let's let her in.
I think that we might be able to like just have someone set up a WordPress plugin on our website that could allow people to like upload, like have submissions and like upload documents and stuff.
Hey, April.
Hey, April.
Hello.
Just getting ready to let everyone in and begin the session.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess that's 6. 6 works for me. How many people do we have?
4.
Yay! So tiny.
0.
73 people registered, so I got a little nervous, but
Oh Lord, 73 people? That's a lot of people.
77.
77. But so Flora was saying usually it's like a third of the people that register actually come.
Yeah.
But I'm happy with 4 people for my
Right.
first time back doing it by myself. I'm like, okay, here we go. So we will see. Okay, it's 6 o'clock now, so I think we can go ahead and let in the
Oh, it's in
Tanya's here too.
Thank you for registering. Your session is starting. It is connected to audio.
White dog.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
As you come
Good
in,
evening.
good evening.
Hi, Elizabeth. Hey, Flora.
Hey,
Good
Jen.
to see y'all smiley faces.
yes, I
too.
hope everything is okay at the vet.
Yeah, I know hopefully, yeah, I hope so.
As everyone comes in, please leave your cameras off and microphones muted when you're not talking, if you would not mind, just so that we can keep this nice and organized.
We can give it just a few more minutes. Is anyone else in the waiting room?
No, I went ahead and turned off the waiting room. So people
Okay. We'll just give it maybe another minute. To join. see. I can't really tell how many people we have. Can you tell, Flora? It's 12.
Looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-ish, plus lenders and realtors and stuff.
Okay. Well, I want to respect everyone's time tonight, so I think we'll go ahead and just get started with introductions, and then hopefully if people roll in, they won't miss too much. So I'll go ahead and introduce myself to everyone. I'm Elizabeth Munyon, and I am the home purchasing coordinator here at Maggie Walker. I started as AmeriCorps Vista almost a year ago, so I'm still relatively new in my role, and I work mostly with the applicants who are going through our homeownership program, and I am happy to be here.
Thank you, Elizabeth. I am Flora. Valdez de Pena is my last name. And I am the kind of communications manager for Maggie Walker. So I help with all of our online events and social media and websites and email communications and all that sort of thing. So I'm here to assist with the running of the information session. So nice to see everybody here.
Thank you, Flora. Let's see, April, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm April Ward. I am the homeowner engagement coordinator with Maggie Walker. So after you purchase, you'll be, I'll be your point of contact from then on. You'll go from Elizabeth to me for anything that you need after the sale completion. And I am glad to see all of you taking this journey.
Thanks, April. Let's see, is Leah on the call? I can't tell. I don't think so.
don't
Jen,
see Leah.
do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, good evening, everyone. My name is Jen. I am the realtor that work with the MWCLT program. Very happy and honored to be here. Just wanted to let everyone know that if you have any questions about the real estate transaction side of the process, please feel free to reach out. Please share my information with your realtors. And thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Jen. Let's see. Do the lenders on the call want to step in and introduce yourself really quick?
Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, guys. This
Hi.
is Tanya. This is Tanya from Department of Commerce, Federal Credit Unions, Mortgage Lending Department. I've been with Maggie Walker Community Land Trust since the inception. I'm super excited to have you guys with us tonight. I'll put my contact information in the chat. If anybody has any questions about the lending process, I'll be happy to assist you with that.
And I think we have Mary White here also.
Yes, I'm Mary White. I am with Town Bank Mortgage. I am a loan officer who has also worked with Maggie Walker Community Land Trust since they first even created this and started talking about it. And am really excited to be here and working with the folks who are looking to purchase homes with Maggie Walker. I think it's exciting, and we definitely need affordable housing like this in the market that we're in. So I am happy to talk with anyone. And I guess, do I put my contact information in the chat or?
Yeah, that'd
Sure.
be great.
Okay.
And then we also have a link in the middle of the presentation with your info, I believe.
Okay,
But,
wonderful.
the chat would be great.
Thanks.
Thanks. I think that's all of our lenders on the call. Before we get started, just some housekeeping. If you're not speaking, please keep yourself on mute, and then be mindful that this is going to be recorded. So refrain from giving a lot of personal financial information. If you have something that pertains just to you, I know our loan officers and myself would be happy to talk to you individually, but this is being recorded, so we just want to make sure that your personal information is not out there on the internet. And that being said, this presentation is going to be recorded and then uploaded in our YouTube channel. So thanks for that. Are we recording, Flora? Should I?
Yeah, we are.
Okay,
actively
awesome.
recording.
So I will go ahead and get started with our presentation. Before I dive into things, these are our housing resources that anyone can reach out to. The Commonwealth Catholic Charities offers credit counseling and general like home ownership counseling to anyone. And the housing resource line can connect you with a number of resources. Particularly if you're in an emergency housing situation, they can be a great point of contact just to reach out to and get help that way. And then here's our agenda for the evening. I'm expecting this to go about an hour and a half. So first we're going to go over what is a CLT, how it works, who's eligible, what are the benefits of a community land trust. We're going to go into our program details. And that's kind of like taking a deep dive into our ground lease, our resale formula, and looking at how a CLT home differs from the conventional home ownership market. And then we'll go into talking about the application and seeing what you need to do to apply and answer any questions that you may have. And we will have points for questions, I think 3 or 4 times throughout the presentation, but at any time, if you would like to type a question into the chat, that's another way to ask a question. And then Flora and April can alert me if there's a question in the chat relevant to something that we're talking about. So we're going to do a quick poll and see who is here tonight. And this should pop up on your screen and just so we can see who's here. If you're interested in purchasing a home, if you're just involved in affordable housing, if you're a realtor wanting to learn more about our program, we just like to know who's here and who showed up tonight. We'll give you a little bit to answer.
And if you don't see the poll, don't worry about it. It's not required. It's just something we like to do. And if you're just coming in right now, we are doing a poll, just stating who we are and why we're at this presentation. So if you see the poll, please answer the question. And if you don't worry about it.
How many responses do we have?
11. Which I think might be everyone except our
Wonders.
realtors and lenders.
Yeah,
Yes.
probably.
So I'm going to go ahead and end poll and share the results. Looks like a big majority of you are here because you're interested in purchasing a home, which we love and are excited about. An interested citizen here, a couple affordable housing professionals there, and some other folks as well. So good to see all of you. If you'd like, you can also drop your name in the chat, or say something about yourself in the chat if you want to introduce yourself.
Thanks, Laura. So our next slide, we just want to hear from you all a bit. We want to know what excites you about home ownership. You can, again, drop your response in the chat, or you can come off mute and tell us a bit about why you're here and why you're interested in home ownership.
Monique says owning something. That's a big one.
Yeah,
Definitely.
definitely.
Having something that you can call your own.
Yeah, we'll get into that definitely. Does anyone else have oh, rent is too
Rent's
high.
too high. So true. Building wealth.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are all very real things that we will get into. Yeah, a bigger space for your family. Definitely. Let's see. On the flip side of that, we're gonna ask you all, what makes you nervous or afraid about homeownership? Ooh, the interest rates. That is definitely a big concern. Things have definitely changed a bit in the past few years. That's a very real one. Monique said repairs. Definitely. Oh yeah, and getting your pre-approval due to student loans. Yeah, that's something that definitely our loan officers can help talk through and hopefully figure out a solution with that for sure. And then wanting to buy a home for the first time, concern for repairs, pre-approval. Yeah, definitely, especially for first-time homeowners. I'd say most of our, at least I'd say 9 out of 10 of our homeowners are first-time homeowners, and a lot of those, that's the demographic that we usually serve. So a lot of those anxieties about repairs and owning a home that you're responsible for and no one's coming to fix it can be a bit anxiety-inducing, definitely. Oh yeah, unexpected expenses. Yes, that's definitely a concern as well. Well, hopefully after this presentation, some of those concerns will be addressed and hopefully we'll put you on the right track. So with that, let's get into our presentation. So first, I want to honor our namesake, who is Maggie Walker. That's who our organization is named after. Maggie Walker is the first Black woman to establish a bank and the first to serve as president of a bank in the US. Not only was she an amazing businesswoman, but she lifted the community with her. She empowered Black families and created opportunities for them to have stability and economic mobility. She was innovative and visionary as a community leader. Maggie Walker not only had an impact and created opportunities for her community, but she made intergenerational investments. She paved the way not only for Black business owners and community leaders, but for Black women who at the time were not deemed worthy of having a seat at the table. So this is a chart of our organization, Maggie Walker Community Land Trust. You probably know about us through our work with permanently affordable home ownership, which is what we're going to be focusing on tonight. But we would also like you to know that we also operate the Richmond Land Bank. And the Richmond Land Bank is a program of Maggie Walker that puts vacant and tax delinquent properties back into strategic community uses. So what is a community land trust, a CLT? Before we get into that, I'm also going to go into a little history and context of the origin of community land trusts in the US. So the first community land trust was in Albany, Georgia. It started in the 1960s, an organization called the New Communities, Inc. And it was a grass movement that evolved out of the civil rights movement, in which Black citizens who were sharecroppers were getting kicked out of their homes if their white landlords found out that they had registered to vote. So Black activists bought a large farm, and the intention was to farm the land collectively, and everyone still owned their own home on the shared land. And there's a lot more to the history. It's a really fascinating history, but I'll just highlight it here quickly and say, as the interest in CLTs and other form of community ownership has grown, it's critical to uplift the history of racial, economic, and environmental justice and Black-led organizations leading the way forward. So with that, what is a CLT? A community land trust is a nonprofit, community-based organization that is designed to ensure community stewardship of land. Community land trusts can be used for many types of land use, but they're primarily used for permanently affordable home ownership for lower to middle class, middle income families. So to do so, the land trust acquires land and maintains ownership of it permanently. They reduce the cost of home ownership now and keep homes affordable for future buyers. And this is a little breakdown graphic of it. So it's showing when you buy a home on the conventional market, you're purchasing the land and the house. But with a CLT home, you are purchasing just the house at a subsidized rate, and the land will remain in the trust. So you're technically leasing the land from us, although you're owning the home. But when it's time to sell your home, you'll sell your house, but the land itself is never sold. That remains in the Maggie Walker Community Land Trust. So the next buyer will need to meet the income requirements, and then they buy the home from you at an affordable an affordable price. And they're agreeing to the same sort of resale structure that when they sell the home, it will go from another income qualified buyer for as long as the home exists. So that way it ensures permanent affordability. So here are a little bit of the values of the community land trust model. It's centered on racial equity, wealth generation, community control, collective decision-making, and long-term stewardship of both the community and the land. Community land trusts are both a model and a movement. The land will be held by and for the community forever, and the model itself balances the interests of the individual with the community. And here's some benefits of CLT home ownership. So they benefit the homeowner in several ways. Our homes are some of the most affordable that you'll find in the Richmond area. And by affordable, we mean that they are ready to move in. They're turnkey ready. They're not fixer-uppers. They're really high quality. They've been recently rehabbed or are newly constructed. And the CLT allows the homeowner to build wealth over time through their monthly mortgage payment, and then the way that their homes increase in value instead of on the market. And then they also help provide other benefits of home ownership, like pride in owning something, stability, and a quality home for you and your family. So community land trusts also benefit the community by combating land loss and displacement. They build community wealth and strengthen the community health and well-being. And they can also be used as tools for reducing real estate speculation and keeping our neighborhoods diverse and vibrant. So who may want to buy a CLT home? So there are a few requirements. You have to be income qualified. You must agree to the terms of the ground lease. You must qualify with a lender who will lend for a CLT home. And then you cannot own another home at the time of closing. So we'll get onto all of that in just a minute. Right now we're going to look at our income qualifications. So right here, you'll see a chart that shows our 2022 income limits. As our current program, we have two options. We have the 80% AMI program and the 115% AMI program. And these income limits are based on funding, and they vary from house to house, but you can't make more than this amount to be eligible for our program. So these numbers are based on the AMI, which is the area median income, and those numbers are determined by HUD each year. And so how it works is, like for example, if you have a household of 2 people and the house you want to purchase has an 80% AMI limit, you can't make over the $64,450 for those 2 people in your family. Okay, and here's a little map that's a little bit outdated, but this is a simple map of where we currently have homes. And so you can see here, the majority of our homes are in the city of Richmond. We have a number in Randolph, Northside, and Church Hill. We also have homes in the Highland Springs area and in Chesterfield County as well. And this is just a current of what we have right now, but we are definitely expanding into other areas. So how does the program work? So the ground lease is what really shapes the program. So we're going to go over, we're going to go over that right now. So the ground lease is like the meat and bones of the CLT model. It's the legal document that restricts the price that the home can be resold. And it is the document that ensures permanent affordability, and it's intended to go beyond your life and the life of your children. So a CLT home is fully inheritable. Your home can be passed down to anyone via your will or by your heirs. The MWCLT, we provide wills at closing for your as a part of your home buying process. So your heirs have the option to live in the house or to start a new ground lease at the time that you pass. And that's a great, another way that we aim to promote generational wealth. And then there is a $100 a year ground lease fee. So with that, we will invoice you 4 times a year, or you can pay the $100 all at once if you want, but that is your fee for renting the land from us. So our board is run by 1/3 homeowners, 1/3 public members, and 1/3 community members. And so that's pretty unique, and that's a big part of our organizational structure. And if you are considering the Maggie Walker Home Ownership Program, I hope that you also consider joining a board or serving on one of the committees that advises the board in their decision-making process. So what is unique about CLT home ownership? Here are some other things to think about as you're interested in the program and thinking about applying. So this CLT home must be your primary residence. It must be the only home that you're owning, and you must live there. So for example, if you meet someone and you would like to live together, move into their house, that's awesome, but you would have to sell your Maggie Walker home so that it's another opportunity for a family to move in and have another chance at our program. So you can't turn your property into an investment property and rent it out, no Airbnb-ing. There are like a few exceptions to that if you need to go on military deployment, or if there's a family situation that would require you to be out of the house, like taking care of a family member or something like that. But in a case like that, you would need to make a case-by-case exemption from our board. So let's see. Also, our renovations must be approved by the board. So the home is yours. You can paint it, install bookshelves, light fixtures, things like that. But anything that would require a permit from your local jurisdiction, that would need approval from the board. And the reason that we do that is just to make sure that the home is safe and well done for future home buyers. And then let's see, you will build equity through this program. You will earn equity through your monthly mortgage payment, and then also through your home's increase in value, which is based on wages instead of the market. We'll go through that in a minute. And this is a good time to pause and see if there are any questions. And if Jen is on the line, I'd like you to tell us a little bit about this Maggie Walker home.
Yes, this home is located over in the Highland Springs area. It's located actually on North Ivy Avenue. This home has 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, and it's 1,200 square feet. It sold for $155,000, and it appraised at $195,300. Now, one of the lenders may be able to chime in to kind of explain why I called out the appraised value and the price that the home sold for. So Tanya, Mary, would you all like to kind of talk about how the appraisal works with the MWCLT homes?
This is Tanya. So one of the main benefits of this program is that the house appraises, as Jen stated, for far more than they're actually selling the house for, which is what makes the house affordable for purchase now. And with the resale formula that Elizabeth will go into shortly, makes it affordable for future generations. So that is the way that they are able to sell it to you at a cheaper price, giving you a lower monthly payment, and knowing that you are going into the house already with equity.
Thank you, Tanya.
Thanks, Jen and
Brilliant.
Tanya.
Yeah.
Are there any other questions? Feel free to come off mute if you have any, or type them into the chat.
Hi, I have a question.
Yeah.
Good evening. So my question is about the equity. I understand that, Jesus be a sense, brain fart. I understand that the house can be no, that's not the question that I'm asking. The question that I'm asking is, in that example that you just gave with that particular house, what are you coming in with the equity? How much equity would you have? Like say if any one of us on the line got that house, how much equity would we actually have coming into the house? That's my first question.
Yeah, thanks for that question. I think we're going to hit on that when we go through our resale formula, and then we'll break down how the pricing works and how much equity you would receive through selling your house.
Okay,
Sorry,
thanks so much. I'll be here.
I should clarify. I just want to make sure that this is understood. Equity refers to the amount of money that you have put into your house, basically, and also the value that it has accrued over time. So when you come into the house, if you didn't own a home before, you would not have home equity before you come into the house. But once you move into the house, you'll start building equity.
Okay, got you. So the equity comes with what you're putting into the house over time.
Yes, exactly.
Got you. Thanks for clarifying that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's a great question, and it can be a little confusing, but we'll definitely go into the resale bit in the next section. If no one has any other questions, we can move on. Anyone? Okay, I'll jump into the next section, but if anyone has any questions in the meantime, just—
Oh, there was, sorry, really quick. Someone in the chat asked if we had, or you already answered this, but yeah, we do have homes in Richmond, Chesterfield, and Henrico, all three localities.
Yes. Okay. Now we're going to go into the CLT model, seeing how home ownership compares to renting. So with renting, as you already know, when you rent your home, you don't keep any of your rent payment when you move into another home. And so this chart shows your monthly rent payment multiplied by 24 months multiplied by the number of years you're in your home. So for the purpose of this example, we're going to look at paying $825 a month. You know, it's not really a market rent right now in Richmond, but that's the purpose of this example. We'll see that in 5 years, you've spent $49,500 alone in rent. And that's rent that you don't get back. So with home ownership, you keep all of the equity you earn by paying the loan principal with your monthly mortgage payments. So here, we're going to go into an example of this. This is an amortization schedule. And for the purpose of this example, we're going to look at a home that was purchased January 1st, 2019 for $1,145 with 3% down as a down payment. And we chose this example because your monthly payment would be more or less the same as the $825 that you'd be paying in rent. Let's see. So after the first 5 years, the total you pay to the bank for your loan doesn't change. You pay the same amount every year, but what does change is what goes into your principal and what goes into interest. So as you pay down your principal, which is the money that you borrowed from the bank, the things start to shift so that more money goes into your principal and less into your interest. And I'm going to call on a lender to help me help answer this question. What would happen if this person paid an extra payment towards their principal?
An average, sorry, this is Tanya. If you make one extra mortgage payment a year on a 30-year mortgage, it should reduce your term, so the amount of years that you pay, by 7 to 8 years.
Awesome. Thanks, Tanya. Thank you for sharing that. And it would also start to shift the balance between what's going into interest and what's going into principal sooner. So my example here, for the purpose of this example, we aren't assuming any extra payments. This person is just paying their mortgage on time every year. So after 5 years, they have accrued about $16,225 in equity, and that's only by paying their mortgage on time. And if the buyer sells after 5 years, they would have $16,225 plus the interest and the AMI increase over their 5 years. And that's just that same $825 monthly payment, but only with owning the home. So this here is a graphic representation of how your mortgage works. It's the same thing as the chart, but a little different way of showing it. The big blue box represents what you are paying to the bank each year on your loan. And so in year 2, most of your money is going into interest, with about a quarter of it going towards your principal. But as you start to pay off your mortgage, you'll see that by year 15, you're still paying that same amount over the course of the year, but now about half of it is going into your interest and half into principal. And so by year 25, if you still have that mortgage, you didn't pay any extra payments and knock off years of your mortgage, most of your money is still going towards your principal, and that's true for any kind of homeownership, not just for a CLT mortgage. So far, we've just been talking about the money that you've borrowed from the bank, but another part of your monthly mortgage is called your escrow. And so as a homeowner, you also have to pay for your insurance and your taxes. And usually these are due every 6 months, and they can be a pretty hefty sum. So banks want to make sure that you are paying both your taxes and your insurance, because if you don't, you could lose your home. So instead of paying that big amount twice a year, they divide those payments into an amount that you can pay monthly. And that becomes a part of your monthly mortgage payment. And this goes into an escrow account. So the bank uses your escrow to pay the insurance company and then also to pay the city or county where you live. So this is a representation of your monthly payment. The majority of it is your loan, and then this green here that represents your escrow. So that's how you can kind of anticipate your payment over time. Let's see. Are there any questions about that?
Jan, did you have something to say?
Yes. Okay. So this is one of our very first homes in the MWCLT program, listed in Churchill. It was located on North 26th Street. This home sold for $227,500, and it has 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. And just as a little sidebar, the Churchill area, the going rate for the homes right now are in like the low to mid $400,000 range. So another example of the MWCLT providing affordable housing.
That's right. Yeah, thank you, Jen.
You're welcome.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So my question is, the money that's in escrow for the taxes and fees, money accumulate? Oh gosh, trying to formulate this question. Does that money, you know, the money that you pay into the principal and the regular payment? So when you the money that's set aside that's actually gaining equity, is that also factored into that money or no? The escrow money, because I know it's used for taxes and fees, but is it also accumulating equity as well? That's my question.
Let's see. Do you want to go ahead and answer that? One of the lenders on the call?
Yeah, I can answer it, Elizabeth. This
Okay.
is Tanya. Unfortunately, it does not, because that money literally just gets paid to the county or city that you live in, as well as for your homeowner's insurance. So it does not. The only thing that's going to count towards your equity is what you are paying for your principal and interest.
Okay, it's what you're paying towards your principal and your interest, which is principal is the actual money and the interest is the extra money that's added on. Okay.
Yeah, so the principal is what you actually borrow from the bank. And then the interest is what we charge you to borrow the money.
To borrow the money.
Correct. So as you pay that back, like in Elizabeth's example on that one slide, after 5 years, in that example, you have paid $16,225 of your principal and interest that then would come back to you when you sold the house.
Got you. So that is where you would actually kind of sort of like make your money if you were ever to sell the house, not in actually selling the house, because it has to be sold at a lower rate so someone else could have the same opportunity as you.
Would still make, there's another piece that you do get to keep, which I think Elizabeth will go over in the next section.
I'm keep rushing. I'm sorry. Let me be quiet.
Okay.
You're fine. You're fine. Yeah, there's a lot to take in here, but I will get into that in the next section. There's one question about homes with more than 3 bedrooms. So typically our homes are 2 to 3 bedrooms. I don't think we've had a 4-bedroom home.
Yeah, we have not yet had a 4-bedroom home.
Okay, and I don't know if we have any plans to. I think the majority of our homes are 3-bedroom, and then we tend to have 2 full bathrooms, if not 2.5.
Correct.
So not yet. That's not in the plan, but maybe soon.
Maybe we should. I mean, it's a pretty you know, from a like community perspective, it's like you know, lots of people with larger families need bigger homes. It's good for intergenerational living and things like that.
Yeah.
I think we should, but at the moment we don't have any larger than 3 bedrooms.
Yes, it's an internal discussion right now, but at this time we don't. But thanks for asking. Do we have any other questions?
Yes, I have another question.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So this was a couple of slides back where you had at specific areas where you have the actual homes. Do you get to choose the areas in which, like once you're approved or whatever, do you get to choose which area you can get the home in, or are you assigned a specific home?
So you're not assigned a specific home at all. We'll get into that in a bit too, when we go through like kind of the steps of home ownership. But we definitely encourage people to stay where they want to be. If you have kids in a certain school district or family in a certain side of town, and you just want to be there, that's totally fine. And we encourage you to do what's right for you. So you have a choice of where you go.
Question. I'm sorry, I got in a little late. I was stuck on a meeting, but when we talked about only having 2 to 3 bedrooms, typically is there like a general or on average as far as square footage on the homes that maybe the 3 bedrooms? Because usually, I mean, for most, the average is 3 bedrooms, 2 baths.
I don't have that information in front of me. Do you have any idea, Flora?
April says 1,500 to 2,000 square feet is about the average,
Awesome.
which I think is
Yeah.
right. Jen, does that sound right
Yes,
to you, Jen?
it's about that range. We have had some properties that was like 1,048 square feet. We had about 2 properties. So average, yeah, maybe not so much, closer to like the 1,900, but about 14. I'm sitting here looking at a couple of the properties now. So yeah, about 1,400.
And let's see, there's a question about the slides becoming available as homework after this meeting. Flora,
Yes.
take that
Yes.
question.
Yes. If you are at this meeting right now, then we have your email and we will email you slides and links and other stuff, other useful things after the presentation.
Yay. And you'll have our contact info as well, so we can make sure. Okay, so does anyone have any more questions right now? We'll have a few other opportunities to ask questions. In the interest of time, I'll move on to the fun stuff, talking about
Okay.
taxes.
Sorry.
Oh,
I
you're
was
fine.
trying to do my video somehow.
Did you have a question?
No, I was just wondering what happened to the video. It said unable to, my video stopped.
Oh, I'm sorry. I turned off your video because we like to keep the video turned off when we're not talking. But if you could,
okay.
you should be able to turn your video back on when you want to ask a question again also.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna move on. We're gonna start talking about taxes and other fun stuff. So this is one of the great features of our program. So because Maggie Walker operates as the Richmond Land Bank, the land is tax exempt. So there's also so you're not responsible for the taxes on the land. You are responsible for the taxes on your house, but the land itself, you're not responsible for, and that's another thing that is great in furthering affordability. So in terms of maintenance, since it's your home, you are responsible for the upkeep. So any kind of appliances, leaky windows, things like that, things that just happen over time to your house, you are responsible for that. And then you're also responsible for the upkeep of your land. So like mowing the lawn, taking care of dead trees, that's all your responsibility as well. And so what happens when you go to sell your CLT home? So this is where you want to pay attention. We're going to talk about our resale formula and what happens as you go to sell your CLT home. So when you go to sell your home, you're entitled to get back your cash equity. So that's any kind of down payment that you put on your house. You will get back your earned equity. And so that is the loan principal that you have paid off by making your monthly mortgage payments. And then you are also you will get back your home's increase in value. And so that is based on the percentage increase in the area income while you have owned your home. And that is our AMI resale formula that we will get into in a second. So here's an example of one of our Randolph homes. The home was appraised for $215,000, and then through subsidies, it sold for $145,000. So that's pretty below market and an affordable purchase in this area. So the home buyer, they borrowed less, they had lower monthly payments, and then they had a lower down payment than they would have if they paid $215,000 for that appraised value of the land in the house. So when this homeowner went to go sell their house, this is the formula that we use to calculate their total, what they get back on their house. So we start with the original sales price, which was $145,000, and then we calculate the increase of the area median income while you have owned your home. And so the year the home was purchased, the AMI was 83,000. And when they went to sell their home, the AMI had increased to about 90,200. So just for kind of frame of reference, the AMI increases about 2% in the Richmond area, but sometimes that's a bit higher. Like in the past year, it increased a bit more. But in this scenario, over the 5 years this person has lived in their home, the AMI has increased $7,000, which is about 8.41%. So we multiply that original sales price by 8.41%, and that equals $12,200. And that is money that you've earned just through the change in the market, plus any seller's original down payment, and plus those principals that you've paid. So this hasn't happened yet, but if AMIs decreased instead of increasing, you are still entitled to get to sell your home for what you purchased it for. So that's a bit of relief there, but we have not yet had a situation in which that's happened. So here is a reminder of our amortization schedule that we went through earlier. So the homeowner had occurred $16,225 just from paying their monthly mortgage payment on time. And then if they sell after 5 years, they would have had an increase in that 8.41%. So that's in addition to just paying monthly rates. So that's going over what I said earlier, but the summarizes that in 5 years, this homeowner has occurred $16,225 from their down payment and principal, $12,200 from the home's increase in value. And so they gained an equity of about $28,425. However, if a person had been renting in the same 5 years, they would have spent $49,500 in rent, but instead they have occurred $28,425. So this chart is kind of shocking just to show the reality of rental situation versus home ownership. So the CLT model makes it possible for these homes to be affordable for future homeowners that may be in the same economic situation that you are in right now. So again, if we take that original sales price of $145,000, add on that $12,200 from the increase in value, then the home will resell for about $157,200 plus fees. So this is the resale price of the next homeowner. So this just shows how it's being, you still earn equity, but then the next homeowner is still paying a affordable price for the home. Let's see, Jen, do you want to give us a plug on this house?
Well, yes, of course. This home is located in Chesterfield, and this particular property sold for $135,000. 3 bedrooms, 1 bath. And the square footage on this home, I believe, was 1,075.
Great.
So this was unique because it was actually the cheapest home that we've ever, the most affordable home that we ever sold in Chesterfield prior to our Elm Street listing. So
yeah. Great. Thanks for sharing that. Does anyone else have any questions at this point? Oh, so Anya asked how we obtain houses to sell. Let's see.
Okay. So who do you want me to answer, Flora?
I can talk a little bit about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it really depends. We have a lot of ways of getting land or houses to sell or to build on or to rehab. A lot of our homes are land we actually just bought on the open market, using funds that we had raised for the specific purpose of affordable home ownership. Some of them have come from city surplus properties or city tax delinquent properties that were transferred to the land bank for specific use as like community goods, you know, things that serve the community. But yeah, it really varies. We don't make cash offers typically. We don't do any of that like shady house flipper stuff. We buy homes on the market just like anyone else does usually, homes and land.
Yeah, we also partner with a lot of housing nonprofits in the area as well. So like Project Homes, Habitat for Humanity, they will sometimes approach us with a house that they've constructed and offered to put it in the land trust.
Yes.
So another way that we get a lot, I'd say like a majority of our homes come through our partner organizations as well.
Yeah, a lot of them come from Project Homes or Habitat for Humanity, and a good number of them have come originally from RRHA, who is just kind of in the process of getting rid of a ton of extra vacant properties that they own.
Yeah, thanks for that question. Does anyone else have questions at this point?
I do.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, because the land doesn't belong to us, these are houses that no one can take from us. Like, you know how sometimes they want to, I don't know, years ago, whatever, they used to maybe run a railroad through somewhere, so then you had to get out. But this is something where once you've made all your payments and things like that, like these houses can't be taken away from you, correct?
So in terms of like condemnation or like eminent domain type thing, I think like, I don't
That's
know.
exactly what I'm talking about.
The legal, Laura, do you
I
know
think-
the legal? I think they legally
So-
have.
So eminent domain is a tricky subject that obviously eminent domain has been used